The Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's The Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Steven Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Steven.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Steven Phillips.
Y'all need to help Steven Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Steven Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. Been looking forward to this. We have got an expert on the James Bond 007 series going on, Mr. Steve Rubin. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you, Packy. Good to talk to you.
Man, we're glad you're on here. You've got all this stuff going on, and I have got to know the question that everybody wants to know, shaken or stirred.
So the question is, who was the best James Bond? And I think it was Sean Connery. I'm sorry, he was the best.
Well, it's a kind of a rule that you love the Bond you grow up with, and I basically saw my first James Bond movie in 1964. It was called Goldfinger. It's still a classic to me. But I have to tell you guys that Daniel Craig, the last 15 years, has been one terrific James Bond.
I think so, too. I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you. I think he's been, yep.
That's just because he looks better shirtless. Okay,
no, I
let's
don't
just
know,
be
man.
honest.
I didn't care for Timothy Dalton. I don't think it's because of his acting. I thought they kind of got a little bit sideways on the thing. And Pierce Brosnan, I didn't care for him much.
See, I grew up with him with the video game, the GoldenEye video game.
See, I was in the
I liked Pierce
transition.
Brosnan.
I was there for Sean Connery, and then it switched to Roger Moore. And I liked Roger Moore okay. He just didn't seem like the tough guy.
But now you've got all kinds of people needs to know this. Tell them your website and all the stuff because you have got all kinds of information. You got a book out in the whole 9 yards about James Bond, which is absolutely it's very interesting. Tell them a little bit about what you got going on.
Oh, sure. Well, I've been writing about Bond since the 70s. My current book is the 4th edition of the James Bond movie Encyclopedia. It's packed with photographs, over 400 photographs, every possible fact you could think about the James Bond movies, which is going on 60 years. I have a Facebook page called the James Bond Movie Encyclopedia. I do a weekly classic film review called Steve Rubin Saturday Night at the Movies. I'm all about classic movies and certainly all about Bond. I always wanted to write about something that people really wanted to read about, and I think that everybody's always interested in the world of James Bond. It's been going on all these decades, but even in a six-year gap like we have, hard to believe it's been 6 years since Spectre.
Right.
People are always talking about Bond, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it. It's one of the best series out there. And the thing that one of the things about the Bond movies, a lot of times when they keep going on, they get dumb. But these just keep, to me, especially the new ones. Now, we got a new one fixing to come out, right?
Opens today, No Time to Die. I saw it at a press screening last week. This is one big movie. We've all been trying to figure out, do we go back to the theater now? Is it safe? Whatever. Maybe I'll just watch it on stream, whatever. This is the reason we go to the movies in the theater. This is a big movie. They pulled out all the stops. The budget on this movie was north of, drum roll please, $300 million.
Wow.
So we're in like the stratosphere of movie making. So if you want something big to see and you feel comfortable going to the theater, even if you wear a mask in the theater, however you want to work it, this is the movie to see this year. And I tell you, I have a pretty high level of expectation when it comes to a Bond movie, and this movie met it in spades.
Now, is this Craig's last round as James
No
Bond?
way. He keeps saying that. I don't think he's ever going to quit. What do you think?
No. I seriously, this is his last one.
That's
I know
what I
we've
heard.
heard that before, but he's now 53, which is kind of at that age where Bonds start to retire. And I tell you, the next Bond movie is going to be a reboot. We're going to see a new James Bond, and I'm not sure who that's going to be, but it's probably going to be
Russell Brand. I think Russell Brand.
How about Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage is so old he breaks.
Not Nicolas Cage, please God, not Nicolas Cage. Who do you think? Who do you think's going to be the next Bond?
Well, there's talk about Henry Cavill, who plays Superman.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of, he kind of checks all the boxes. He's a good-looking Englishman. Sam Hewn, who's on the TV series Outlander, is probably in connection. I have to say, every British, Australian, New Zealander, Scottish, Irish, whatever actor in the world will probably be considered. I'm voting for somebody who's a little kind of unknown. I mean, when Daniel Craig came in 2006, we kind of disparaged him as that blonde Bond. Who is that?
Yeah.
And I saw that Casino Royale movie, that first one,
Right.
and my jaw dropped. I thought that opening chase scene where he's chasing that bomb maker on that construction crane and doing all those parkour moves, unbelievable.
He was definitely a more physical Bond than we'd seen really in a while. Like obviously fit and physical. So that was.
Oh,
nice.
I love it. I love it. Now this.
Well, Bond is. I was just going to say Bond has changed over the years. The Bond of the 21st century has had to be a lot more gritty and realistic and kind of our world. None of these kind of dashing guys who drink martinis and wear expensive suits and don't get their hair mussed. One thing that the Bond movies today, they face a lot more competition than the earlier Bonds, because you've got the Jason Bourne series,
Right.
you've got Mission Impossible, you've got John Wick, you even got those Fast and Furious movies, which take car chases up 9 levels. So you got to have a Bond that people want to see. And I think in this world we live in, this crazy, crazy world where we're fighting terrorism on every front, Bond's got to be a real person, and I think Daniel Craig fulfilled that.
Yeah, he does good. I really do. But like I said, I didn't care for Pierce much. But Roger Moore and Sean Connery, two of my favorite ones of all times. I couldn't tell you which one I like the best, but they both had their own style. That's the thing about it. Everybody's got their own style. Just like Daniel Craig, he's got his own James Bond style. He don't try to act like Roger Moore or Sean Connery or that kind of thing, which is really cool.
There's that great moment after he loses all that money at the poker table in Casino Royale where he walks up to the barman and says, I'll take a martini. And the guy says, would you like that shaken or stirred? And Bond says, do I look like I really give a damn?
But you got to have that, man. You got to have the martinis and the whole 9
That
yards.
was great.
Yeah.
In my research, I discovered that when Sean Connery became James Bond in 1963, or 62 in England and 63 here, a friend of mine called up the theater and said, what's playing? They said, Sean Connery and Dr. Number.
That sounded like me. I could do that. I guarantee it. But if anybody, now we're out here, we got to get up to a break here. We're coming close to a break, but you have got the encyclopedia. You actually sent me a copy of that, which is absolutely, it is, you can just sit and go.
If you could read it, it's fascinating.
It's got 400 pictures, okay? It's got 400 pictures. But if anybody wants... Do what now?
If anybody wants to get the James Bond movie encyclopedia, the best way is probably to jump on Amazon because they're selling them there. Your bookstore may not have a lot of them in stock, but it's a lot of fun book to read. It's one of those books where you don't have to read it cover to cover. You just jump in and read about your favorite Bond moment.
Right. All right, man. Well, we have got to get to a break, but I sure do appreciate your time, man. I'm going to keep up with this. And like I said, y'all need to check this out. No doubt this is very interesting, especially if you're a James Bond fan. There you go. So anyway, Steve Rubin.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bub. Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.